If I could only pick one drill to teach an adult who never did handstands as a kid how to do a handstand, I'd pick this one drill. It's the humble chest to wall handstand. The reason being that we can easily scale this drill to suit our starting point in relation to strength, mobility, skill, and fear, as well as easily measure progress. Now, simple doesn't mean easy. Let's not get that twisted. I never did handstands as a kid, and I learned from scratch as an adult. And when learning, I actually did this simple drill wrong for over 12 months, and if I had my time again, I'd want to avoid making these mistakes. Having the weight in the wrong part of the hand, too much weight in the heel of the hand, and not enough weight toward the front of the hand, forcing the forearms and the fingers to actually start to learn what they need to do in order to balance when the wall is not there. As well as effectively leaning up against the wall. I was too heavy with my feet on the wall and relying on it to hold me up, which wasn't going to translate into me doing a handstand without the wall if I was just leaning up against it. And lastly, my shoulder position, either too closed or too open through the shoulders. I work in a gym where we teach 10 handstand classes per week, and I still see so many of our students making the same mistakes I did. And it's because although this drill is simple, it's hard to do well. Students in our classes have all the right cues from high-level coaches, but when push comes to shove and the set gets hard, they still have to be the one that chooses the path of most resistance to be able to hold their body in an unnatural and even uncomfortable position, rather than taking the path of least resistance and allowing the body to compensate. So what makes a good chest to wall handstand? Well, one that actually resembles a freestanding handstand. And in a freestanding handstand, you don't have a wall to hold you up. So if you ever want to stop relying on the wall, you need to perform your chest to wall sets as if the wall wasn't there. A great coach of mine, Harry Williams, shared a piece of advice at a workshop that stuck with me, that helped me correct the mistakes that I was making. He said to imagine that the wall you're using is a shoji, and a shoji is a door, window, or room divider used in traditional Japanese architecture, made of translucent or transparent sheets. Now, if you've ever done a chest to wall handstand before, you can start to picture what might happen if you were to do this drill on a paper wall. You'd break the wall. Your feet, if not entire body, would burst right through it, and you'd end up on the floor of the other room wondering how much your Japanese Airbnb host was going to charge you for destroying their house. Now, just to be clear, I'm not suggesting that you literally go out and try to do a chest to wall set on a paper wall, but if you can put yourself in that scenario and picture the wall you're doing your exercise on is made of paper, it's going to force you, or you just have no choice but to be in a more vertical position, a position that more closely resembles an actual handstand and doesn't allow you to get away with those same compensations of having the hands too far away from the wall with all the weight dumped in the heel of the hand. To have all of the weight from the feet or legs, even ribs, leaning against the wall. You can't get away with that. So that's where the gold in this cue lies. Now, it's worth mentioning that not everyone will be ready to implement this cue right away, but keep it in the back pocket so that you can use it once you're able to get yourself in a vertical chest to wall handstand. But for now, what we need to worry about is your unique starting position in terms of strength through elevation, mobility through flexion, fear in an inverted position, and the skill in which you coordinate all of this together. So our first step is just to spend time in whatever inverted position you can manage, be it downward facing dog, an L handstand on a box, bench, or couch. Could be a 45-degree wall plank, and slowly building that capacity in your inverted position, getting the hands closer to the wall, getting the feet lighter on the wall as we build confidence upside down. Once we're at the point where we can confidently go into a chest to wall handstand and be nice and close to the wall, roughly sort of one hand width away from the wall, now is the time we can start implementing that Japanese paper wall cue. And a good goal to work towards is being nice and light with the feet on the wall, one hand width away from the wall, and trying to hold your chest to wall handstand for a couple of sets of 60 seconds. And sounds simple, but hard to do well. So if you can work toward that, it's going to set you up with a great foundation to be able to take your handstand away from the wall and have some fun with it in the middle of the room or out in the park, wherever. But yeah, shoot me a message on Instagram. Let me know how you're going with it. Check out the free beginners handstand program in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.